Okay, this wasn't planned, but I am going to pick up a couple, 3 more mirrors. They're $1 each, so it's kind of a good deal. Too good to pass up. And I'm looking for a couple narrow mirrors to place in between a couple door jambs on a wall in kind of like a corner, just to bring a little bit more light. I love the light in the house. Our house is so dark, so these mirrors really will help a lot. Before I went on the boat,
Going on the boat in the Mustang.
I got a little nightstand also. It was $10, and it's like wicker and maybe pine. It looks kind of like bamboo-ish. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like a little narrow nightstand with a drawer that pulls out really easily and has a cute little like knob. So I'm excited about it. It's just $10. I mean, that is such a good deal, and I could use something like that. So win-win. Other than that, most of my day has been spent vacuuming and typing, because I'm working on some speech therapy projects all the time. And speaking of which, I keep talking about these hypothetical businesses where I actually have my own normal business other than the carpet cleaning that we do, because that's not mine. I have a degree in communicative disorders, and my goal was to become a speech pathologist, but you have to have a master's degree for that. And I finished my bachelor's and had to end up going to work, so I couldn't do school even though I was accepted in the graduate program. What is that? So in the meantime, I've been making my own speech therapy materials based on what I needed when I was an assistant, because when I went to work, rather than going to graduate school, I started working as an assistant in an elementary school in California, in 2 elementary schools. And I had, I believe, 9 different speech pathologists that I worked for over that period of time, which was really cool because I learned a lot, but I noticed that there was a lack of specific materials, or for us anyway. I mean, I don't know if they're not out there somewhere, but I create my own, and it's very time-consuming and meticulous, and mostly word lists, and then sentences themed, like seasonally themed. And then I also write stories, and so these stories are like packed with specific sounds. So like, say your kid can't say the S sound, I have a story for that. For example, I have a summer themed story where many words start or have an S in them somewhere that are themed for summer. That way, there are plenty of opportunities for production of the sound. I try to make them based on like my own experiences, or I want them to be dreamy and nostalgic, or like interesting. But it's really hard to create sentences where you're like packing in words. There's a lot of adjectives in my stories, and anyway, I think they're enjoyable. I like reading them, maybe because they're mine, and so I feel like a connection to them because I've spent hours and hours and hours writing them. Anyway, if you want to check them out, speckledspeech.com. That's my speech therapy materials site. I'm not a speech pathologist. I don't pretend to be, but I have worked with a lot of kids who needed speech therapy. I guess that's obvious. That was my job. I was an assistant. And in this state, in Michigan, where I live now, speech pathologists are not allowed to have assistants. So my job was basically, it just disappeared when I moved. So if I want to continue in the field, I have to create my own way, being very clear that I'm not a speech pathologist, hence making the materials. And I really wanted to be creative anyway. Like, that's my passion, is finding creative ways to help people. And so that's what I do. One day I'll go back to school. It's like $20,000 a year to go back, and it's 3 or so years, 3 or more, 3 to 4 approximately, going full time. I also sell my materials on Teachers Pay Teachers. It's a website where teachers can sell the materials that they make for their students, which is so cool. And I have most of my materials on there. I've been on there since 2013, and then I just started my website maybe 3 years ago, and so I'm slowly putting things on there as well. The cool thing about my website is that I don't get charged the fee that Teachers Pay Teachers charges, but I do make more money on Teachers Pay Teachers, where I sell more because they market and they have sales and all these things. So it's kind of a catch-22. I also have an Instagram related to that. It's Speckled Speech. You can check the materials out there if you'd like. I also have a Pinterest related. It's actually a mix of this gardening page, home and gardening page, YouTube channel, and my speech therapy stuff, just because it kind of happened that way. I should also mention that these stories can be read and liked by everyone. They're not specific to speech therapy. I mean, it won't hurt. Parents can use these too. It's really good to model speech to your kids, and reading is so important. I mean, read as much as you can. It really helps with speech and thinking and school, critical thinking, etc., etc. Got them. I'm pulling over to show you. Okay, so this one, super narrow. There's a little bit of damage, but not really. I mean, it just, yeah, it's okay. And then this one, it's perfect. It's exactly what I need. Oh, hi. And then this little square one. Are you excited? I'm excited. $3 for all three. There it is. Come here, Stella. Back. Back up. Back up. Go. I know you're a good hunter. Sitting here and thinking maybe we need one of those clocks up there in that bare spot. This clock is the coolest thing. It doesn't make any sound.